nation's commercial capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight, Harriet Agbeyi.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Bring Back Our Girls campaigners lament condition of displaced residents of Damboa, raise alarm over notice given by terrorists to Gambaru residents in Borno State to leave their community tonight. President Jonathan challenges Nigerians to demonstrate the spirit of Ramadan in their commitment to the peace and unity of the country. Medical doctors in the diaspora suggest ways to resolve the lingering industrial action by their colleagues in Nigeria. And Israel agrees to extend ceasefire by 4 hours as Gaza residents continue to recover more bodies and gather supplies.
On business news tonight, the Central Bank of Nigeria calls for the timely resolution of complaints from consumers against financial service providers in the country.
Sports news, 17-year-old Patricia Bezubenko wins 5 gold medals as Canada dominates the gymnastics events at the ongoing Commonwealth Games.
The Bring Back Our Girls campaign group in Abuja has expressed concern over the plight of Damboa residents who fled the community after an attack by the Boko Haram sect 2 weeks ago. According to the group, over 5,000 Damboa residents are currently seeking refuge in Maiduguri and neighboring towns as terrorists continue to attack their communities. The group says the crisis may become worse as the terrorists threatened residents of Gambaru local government area of Borno State. In the meantime, reports say the terrorist group Boko Haram have carried out 2 cross-border attacks in Cameroon since yesterday, killing at least 4 soldiers and prompting the Cameroonian army to send reinforcements to the area. It was gathered that the 4 soldiers were killed in the village of Bagaram, where the militants and soldiers clashed. 13 of the Cameroonian forces are said to be missing following the attack, but the army succeeded in pushing them back. Meanwhile, some 22 suspected Boko Haram militants held since March by the Cameroonian authorities were yesterday sentenced to prison with terms ranging from 10 to 20 years. To other stories now, the current challenges facing the nation provide an opportunity for Nigerians to show their commitment to the peace, unity and stability of the country. This is according to President Goodluck Jonathan, who is challenging Muslim faithful to allow the lessons and blessings of Ramadan positively influence their attitude towards their fellow countrymen and women. This is contained in his message to all Muslims in the country on the occasion of the Eid al-Fitr celebration. While congratulating the Muslims for the successful completion of the month-long fast, the president expressed regret that the exercise was sadly tainted with the atrocities of extremists and terrorists in some parts of the country. The president said, quote, "I feel the pains and anguish of all our compatriots who have experienced the harrowing impact of terrorism unleashed on them by brainwashed and misguided agents of evil and disunity. But we must never throw up our hands in helplessness and despair as the terrorists and purveyors of anarchy want." End of quote. He urged Nigerians to be committed to showing solidarity to the armed forces and security agencies as they wage war against terror. Well, as Muslim faithful celebrate Eid al-Fitr this weekend, it is expected that travelers will take advantage of the season to visit their loved ones in other towns and cities. In the nation's capital, Abuja, not many seem enthusiastic about traveling. Now, some commuters complain of lack of money to fund their trips. This is the focus of our next report.
Every festive period provides opportunities for more work for transporters and commuters who move goods and passengers from one destination to the other. As expected, motor parks are busy with travelers moving in and out of the Federal Capital Territory. But this is not so with the popular Giri Motor Park, located in the suburb of Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. Travelers here complain that there is no money to celebrate the season.
Some of people that we even sell are increasing the money, of which we are not having the money in circulate. But transport, it was a bit fear, because them two are not see passengers as much as they used to see.
There's no money at all. Even want to buy something, but there's no money. But at least you don't meet us. Let us celebrate it how he meet us.
No matter how difficult it is, you must still celebrate it, because it's normal. Whether there is celebration or not, you must eat. You understand? Ramadan is every day on their side because they eat every day.
Others accuse transporters of fare hike. They would rather catch their buses by the roadside to reduce cost. Even at that, some have to wait for hours to get a cheaper fare.
I've been standing here for the past 30 minutes now. There's no vehicle. And the ones I eventually see, they are charging high. From here to Lokoja, it's supposed to be 500, but they are saying 1,700, and I can't pay such much.
Although pressure on this major road leading out of the city center is low, officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps are not leaving it to chances. They are stationed to control traffic and prevent possible crashes on the roads. The Islamic Ramadan month, which started about 4 weeks ago, is expected to come to an end this weekend with the Eid al-Fitr prayers on Sunday, which will mark the end of 1 month's fasting for Muslims across the globe.
Let's take you back to our lead story. The Bring Back Our Girls campaign group in Abuja has expressed concern over the plight of Damboa residents who fled the community after an attack by the Boko Haram sect 2 weeks ago. The group also says the crisis may become worse as the terrorists have also threatened residents of Gambaru local government area of Borno State.
The Bring Back Our Girls campaign group has consistently demanded for the release of the abducted Chibok girls since April. 3 months on, members say there is no going back until the girls are rescued. The time that has elapsed has not eroded their confidence in God and the ability of the Nigerian army to do the rescue work if they are truly determined to do so.
We can't sit in the comfort zone and continue to expect that these girls should arrive from nowhere without we making effort. So that is the more reason why I personally have made it as my own mandate and responsibility to come out and let the government to know that there is need for my sisters to be back.
For me, it is no backing off. It is no giving up. It is consistently standing with the convictions that I have, that no matter how terrible it is, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how long it will take, I must continue to stand. I must continue to demand. I must continue to make sure that all I do every day must be centered around the Chibok girls and their rescue operations.
They have also raised an alarm over the eviction notice given to residents in Gambaru local government area of Borno State.
People of Gambarunga local government were also given ultimatum, 2 days ultimatum, and today it will expire today. That after today, everybody that was found in the town will be killed by Boko Haram, and they say they want to celebrate their Salah in Gambarunga local government,
which according to the group will expire midnight on Saturday, July the 26th. Meanwhile, the group has urged citizens to pray for the government and parents of the abducted girls while keeping faith that the girls will be rescued alive. It's now over 3 months since the Chibok girls were abducted in April the 14th. For this group, they can only hope and pray that things get resolved soon.
Well, Well, the four-man investigative team set up by the Inspector General of Police to probe the twin bomb blast which targeted former head of state General Muhammadu Buhari and Sheikh Dahiru Bauchi has arrived in Kaduna. The team, led by Deputy Commissioner of Police Nwadibo Ikechukwu, earlier visited the scenes of the blast before meeting with General Buhari behind closed doors at his residence. The team of investigators are expected to closely work with other security agencies in the state to find the masterminds of the attacks. The leader of the team, in a statement, urged the public to assist them with useful information that will assist them in their investigations. Well, in a bid to enhance the security of lives and property in Kogi State, the state government has promised to provide jammers, bomb detectors, CCTV cameras, metal detectors and other safety devices to assist security agents with their jobs. The governor, Idris Wada, stated this in Lokoja during the launch of the state's Security Trust Fund. He said the launching of the fund was proof of his administration's commitment to ensure the safety of residents in the state.
Gathered here in the glass hall of the Government House, Lokoja, are officials of the state government, security experts, as well as sons and daughters of Kogi to discuss ways of strengthening security in the state. It's time for the opening speech, and the executive chairman of the Kogi State Security Trust Fund, Mr. Joseph Faniyi, gives a background to the purpose of the meeting.
The huge financial outlay for a sustainable security cover for Kogi State cannot and is not expected to be borne by the state government alone. The fund, therefore, is essentially a public-private partnership in response to the security challenges of the state.
The guest speaker, Mr. Fala Althawari, who is the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, is on hand as he speaks on the essentials of this project.
Nigeria has some of the best trained security and intelligence personnel in the world, but they can't function optimally because of funding. Now, so the fund was established by law, and that was important because if it hasn't got a legal foundation, then issues of accountability become a problem.
The state's chief executive traces the root of the State Security Trust Fund to 2012, when a committee was set up for this cause.
I have since directed that all contracts awarded in the state, both foreign and indigenous companies, should attract a 1% deduction of the value of the contract to be made available to the trust fund.
The high point of the occasion is the fundraising spearheaded by the chief launcher, Aliko Dangote, who is represented, followed by other co-launchers.
I bless this occasion.
With the growing rate of insecurity in the country, it's become imperative for state government to partner with private enterprises to explore ways of stemming this tide, which makes the step taken by the Kogi state government a worthy sequence.
Almighty and everlasting.
In part 2, after the break, some albinos say their condition is not a death sentence, but doctors insist they must observe prescribed procedures for their own good. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.